All right, welcome to the Explainer. In the next few minutes, we are going to decode the key signals from the last 24 hours that are really shaping our world. So, let's just jump right in.
You know, what's popping up on the radar isn't just a series of random disconnected events. It's actually a few very distinct signals that, when you piece them together, tell a really powerful story about where things are headed.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to start with the steady, predictable world of government spending. Then we'll pivot to the wild frontier of AI and a huge bottleneck that's emerging. After that, we'll talk about the cyber tax that hits basically everyone. And finally, we'll tie it all together to see the big picture.
Okay, our first signal is all about stability. It's about where governments are consistently, predictably putting their money and how that creates a solid foundation for the whole economy.
Look, this isn't about chasing speculative trends or funding moonshot projects. This is spending on the real, tangible, nuts and bolts stuff that keeps a country functioning. We're talking critical infrastructure, essential services, the core machinery of the state.
And this spending really falls into three main buckets. First up, operations, literally just keeping the lights on and making sure the government runs day to day. Second, there's compliance. That's all about meeting a constantly growing list of rules and regulations. And third, continuity. This is huge. It's about making sure that no matter what, a hurricane, a major cyber attack, those essential services never, ever go down.
So why does this matter to you? Well, the key takeaway is this. For any business that works with or sells to the public sector, this steady flow of cash creates a really reliable baseline. It tells you exactly what governments truly care about for the long haul, and it's where a massive amount of economic activity is anchored.
Okay, now let's make a hard pivot. We're moving from the stable, predictable world of government spending to the super dynamic, fast-moving frontier of AI. And there is a fascinating tension playing out right now.
So on one hand, you got this incredible, almost unstoppable momentum, right? AI is getting smarter and faster, and it's weaving its way into everything we do. But, and this is a huge but, on the other hand, it is slamming into a very real, very physical wall. There just isn't enough raw computing power, not enough servers, not enough GPUs to run all these amazing new models at scale. The demand is just blowing past the supply.
And inside companies, we're seeing this massive evolution. I mean, we're moving past the era of co-pilots, tools that just assist you with tasks. Now we're entering the era of agents. These are autonomous AIs that can actually execute complex, multi-step jobs all by themselves. That is a gigantic leap in both capability and, frankly, in complexity.
And this just changes the entire game. Winning in the age of AI isn't just about having the cleverest algorithm anymore. It's a two-front war. You absolutely need the smartest models, of course, but you also have to secure access to the scarce computing power to actually run them. The hardware is now every bit as strategic as the software.
Okay, on to our third signal. This is a force that impacts everything we've just talked about, from a government trying to keep services online to a company trying to deploy a new AI. It's the persistent, unavoidable reality of cybersecurity.
The best way to think about this is like a tax. It's a constant background cost that every single organization has to pay just to exist in our connected world. This isn't a one-time problem you solve. It's just a persistent fact of life.
So when we say systemic tax, what we really mean is that this isn't just some IT problem in the basement. It's a fundamental economic drag on the entire system. This cyber tax slows down innovation, it makes operations way more complicated, and it adds a serious layer of risk to every single strategic move you make.
So here's the bottom line, and it's absolutely crucial. You cannot pretend this cost doesn't exist. Whether you're a government planning for the future or a company rolling out a new AI agent, the cost and the risk of this cyber tax have to be baked into your plans from day one. If you don't, it's a direct threat to your profitability and your stability, period.
Okay, so we have these three really powerful signals, right? We've got stable government spending on the real economy, we have an AI boom that's hitting a hardware wall, and we have this universal cyber tax that's hitting everyone. So how do they all fit together? Let's connect the dots.
This table really lays out the strategic landscape perfectly. Government spending gives you that stable foundation, that floor. AI, on the other hand, offers this path to explosive, exponential growth. That's the ceiling. But both are constrained, right? One by budgets and bureaucracy, the other by the scarcity of compute. And hanging over all of it is the cyber tax, a strategic overhead that everyone has to pay.
And this all leaves us with one final, critical strategic question. In a world where compute power is scarce and cyber risk is a constant tax,
Where do you actually find growth that is both real and defensible? That is the core challenge that pretty much every leader is trying to solve right now.